Hello, and here are 10 things that you have asked us to try. Many birds, one stone. Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here. That was epic. That was absolutely epic. I'm smiling like a small child.
Man, it's so much fun.
Great sounds. Okay.
Great sounds.
Welcome to the show. As you will have gleaned from the title, this show is called 10 Things You've Asked Us to Try.
Yeah.
These things come about from comments that you leave in the comments section below. Thank you for all the comments.
Yes, thank you
Please
indeed.
continue to leave them because we read them all and we respond to as many as we possibly can. And sometimes it might be you've seen something on the shelf that you want us to try. It might be that we've missed something in a pick and mix. It might be that you've got a question that we didn't cover when we featured something. So we've at complete random picked. We've said 10, but it might end up being 5 depending on how many we get through.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there'll be a part 2. And then, you know, from this, please leave more things that you'd like us to try. Because already, this is something we'd never do. And that was super inspirational.
That was incredible, actually.
Yeah.
My brain is already going, okay, now if I can get that on the board and one of those. Yeah.
Okay, so number 1, shall we get straight into it, Dan?
Let's do it.
As you can see, we are still doing our best to observe social distancing and all of that. Yeah, we are.
We are. Please don't give us a hard time about it.
Yeah, please don't.
We're
We're trying to do the right thing, and it's not always easy. So there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. This was something that came out in earlier shows from a few years ago, and there was one person. And sorry, we can't find who it was, but maybe if we do find, we'll put your name on the screen now. But this one person kept saying, "For Christ's sakes, please just play the Dope Priest."
Yeah. So cool. So Emanating Fist Electronics. David Main from Dynamic Audio Manifestations. This is a pedal that he made. So it is a copy of he's got what we call a Guild Foxy Lady, which is an OEM Big Muff from the 70s, like a Pi Big Muff. And, you know, he specially selected the transistors. It's designed to give you more mid-range than a normal Big Muff would do.
Okay.
But with huge amounts of clarity and stuff.
It's just a shame he couldn't have put it in a bigger box.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so amps today are Marshall 1987X on top of a Hughes and Kettner cabinet, the reason for which will become clear soon enough.
Yep.
and a Morgan Dual 20, the reason for which will also become clear soon enough. Right.
Right, so
Let's
yes.
hear the amps then, Dan.
Yeah, just the amps together.
Loud and punchy. Ah.
That is unbelievable. That is incredible. Perhaps already my favourite sounding Big Muff. That's incredible.
Killer. So loads of thick, woolly fuzz, very distortion-y, but with the tone knob there, loads of kind of that high-end cut, particularly cool with the Jazzmaster, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, number one, done. We like.
Very much so.
Yeah, so it only took us 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Number two says Breton Leo, among others, but Breton Leo, among others, say, please, please, please put something other than a delay in the loop of the J-Rocket Ape. So if you're not sure what the Ape does, please, we did a whole show on that covered its functions. In fact, we did two. We did one pick and mix, and we did a show about tape delay. And it was featured very heavily in both of those shows. So if you want to know what it actually is designed to do, watch those. What you do is you put any delay pedal in the loop of the Ape, and it offers you some control. So instead of doing a delay pedal, we're going to put in Ranger Effects Reverb.
Yes.
And a, what's that? A Moore phaser.
Phase 90. Yeah, like a Phase 90.
Cool. All right, here's the sound of just the Ape on its own then. Tell you what we haven't got on, Dan. It's any reverb.
Oh, no, we don't have reverb on.
And with reverb. So by itself, it's got the a pretty bob-on EP3 style 22 volt preamp or whatever it is. And then in addition to, you can get some drive out of that. And then in addition, if you switch on the other switch, it puts on whatever is in the loop, yeah?
That's right.
So what have we got now?
So let's have a look at the reverb in the loop.
Yep.
So if I turn the repeats down to basically as little as possible.
Yep.
This is just the reverb.
Awesome. So what's happening there? It's just sending more through the feedback loop of the ape.
So because that's in the feedback loop, basically it's sending the output of the ape back to the input.
Yeah.
And the amount that you control that is done with the level, the repeats knob.
And you weren't changing anything on the Ranger?
Very little.
Yeah.
I changed I think the output level a little bit, but no, that was just this.
Cool.
And all the extra stuff was from adjusting the repeats level. Okay, so let's have a look at the.
Yeah, do you want to play for a bit?
Yeah.
I won't touch the pedals because you're touching them, but
okay.
On that side. I'll touch this side, yeah?
Okay. I thought we'd get something out of it, but yeah.
Turn the overdrive and the phaser on. Sorry, the reverb and the phaser.
The reverb and the phaser.
Yeah, because they're both in the loop, are they?
They're both in the loop.
Awesome.
Fun.
Definitely works then. So you need something that's got some tail on it.
Yeah.
So if you just put, it's got to be something with decay, so reverb or a delay really, in order to take advantage of that, going back through the loop there, but then affecting it with some modulation. How cool.
That's very cool.
How cool. Nice. Right, number 3. Lower the height of the P90 in the PRS McSoapy and raise the pole pieces to get a clearer sound. Regular viewers will know that I did a vlog recently and I replaced the original Seymour Duncan pickups in this guitar with Lola P90s, and to my ear anyway, it sounds much better, or at least more to my taste. However, I was moaning that the neck pickup is still a bit thick and woolly sounding. So, among very, very many others, the SJK Experience said, lower the pickup and raise the pole pieces, and that should give you more clarity. Should we do it, Dan? Here it is.
I don't... Just what I'm struggling to understand is if the pole pieces remain the same distance from the strings, how that's going to work. That's really interesting.
In a normal single coil pickup,
Yep.
like your Telly Bridge pickup,
Yep.
the pole pieces are the magnets.
Yes.
In this, the magnets are 2 bars that sit at the bottom of the pickup.
Yep.
So in theory, you're moving the basically core of the magnet further away.
Okay.
And then the pole pieces, which are one would assume are magnetized because they're in proximity to the magnet.
Well, they'd be touching the magnet.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I think that's the thing. If they're, I guess you are moving those bars further away. Okay. I'm really interested to see what happens
on vintage juniors and stuff. I've heard it said you often see the pole pieces pulled up a bit.
Wow. Okay.
How high are they on yours?
Fairly normal, I think.
Tilt it that way a bit. A little bit higher than on here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and on mine. Yeah. So they're both higher than they are currently in this guitar.
Okay.
Right. If we're in tune, let's hear the bridge pickup. Play your guitar a sec, Dan. So straight off the bat, it's a darker sounding guitar.
Right.
Definitely doesn't have that sparkly
Okay.
high thing.
Yep. It's definitely thicker. It does have a little zing up the
Yeah.
top, but
Yeah.
there's a thick tone to that thing.
We'll stick some overdrive on in a sec. Here's the neck pickup then.
Every note is like kicking one of those gigantic inflatable beach balls.
It's woolly, isn't it?
You know, where you can crawl inside and roll around.
Right.
It's just how I hear it.
I like it. So I'm going to push the pickup down.
Right.
At the moment, it is approximately... the pole piece is approximately
3.5 picks.
4 millimeters from the bottom of the string, or thereabouts, maybe a little bit closer than that, not much anyway. So to push the pickup down, we literally just screw the screws down.
Is that sat on a piece of foam?
It's sat on springs.
Oh, okay.
Oops. Sat on springs. So we'll go fairly extreme and put it down a long way.
Yeah. Can you? I want to hear it before you
Yep.
readjust the pole
Yep.
pieces.
I think that's pretty much as far down as it will go.
Okay. Wow. It's taken a lot of that away.
It's got less woofy, but not really any more trebly,
Sure.
I think. Agreed?
I'm in a much smaller beach ball.
And quieter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that seems to be the case. So let's pull these pole pieces up. So they've come up a little bit. Ready?
Yep.
Just seems to have gone closer back to where it was before.
Yeah.
So a bit more volume again. So let's pull the ones on the treble strings up a bit more. See if that makes any difference.
Okay.
It makes a difference.
It does make a difference. I have got a little mod that I want to do to that at some point in the future.
To the neck pickup.
Just to the neck pickup.
Okay.
It'll make no difference to anything else.
All right. Because
Just to try.
I'm galloping towards a staple
Oh, okay.
pickup.
But
Let's do it beforehand.
Yeah. It'll take me 5 minutes to
All
do.
right, let's just hear it with a bit of gain.
Oh, something else people have asked us for us to play the BB preamp.
Yeah.
What do you
Nice.
think?
I think it definitely needs some sort of boosty boost to bring out the top end in it.
Sure.
It's a bit flat sounding otherwise, isn't it? Cool.
Interesting.
All right. So we did that.
You did that.
Definitely
You did that.
Has an effect, doesn't have a massive effect.
No. I wonder if you got rid of the springs, you could put it down further.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Certainly taking the most of the woof out of the bottom end was a definite improvement.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. That was number 3. Number 4. You idiots, in brackets. When you did the Earthquaker Devices Afterneath version 3, we spent quite a while wondering how this knob here really changed very much, because we could hear what it was doing, but it didn't really make any sense until somebody said, "Idiot."
Idiot.
Idiot. For goodness sake, plug an expression pedal in and then it'll make all the sense in the world. So, number 4, try the Earthquaker Devices Afterneath version 3 with an expression pedal, says Monsieur Safari.
Okay. Right, have the expression pedal on the floor.
Yeah.
So we have all the different modes there that now will make sense with the expression pedal.
Yeah, so what this knob here does is it changes the interval by which the pitch is raised. So Dan, if you wouldn't mind.
We get it now.
Makes
It's
a little
awesome.
bit more sense now.
That's unreal.
It's really cool.
Unreal.
So there was smooth. There was a chromatic stepped one.
Yep.
There's fifths, I think. Anyway, you get the idea. You need an expression pedal, and it sounds really cool.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it has multiple delay lines as well, which you can separate out. If you want to know more about that, watch the original show.
Yep.
Okay,
Wow.
cool. EQD, once again, completely knocking it out of the park. Right. It's time for a contentious one, Dan.
Okay.
This, we don't have a name to put this one to, but it's been suggested by so many people. Many years ago, we did a video on string gauge.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was called The Dubious Legend of
The dubious legend of...
Heavy Strings or something.
Yeah.
Because, it goes in our world that heavier strings sound better, and it's It's really not true. We can get into that in a sec. So, number 5, put really light strings on one of your guitars and see how you get on.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, how original. He's got another telly. Ah!
Okay. So Dan normally plays 11 to 52 on his telly, and now you've got 8
To 38, I
to
think.
38. Yeah, we went to the local music store, which had just reopened today, and bought some light strings. We bought a set of Ernie Ball 8s and a set of Ernie Ball 9s. Apologies to everyone at Kurt Mangan.
So this is going to be challenging because the first thing I'm noticing is I'd have to adjust all the action and harmonics and things because I can't seem to get it in tune.
It's not just because they're new strings.
No, it's in tune. There. Ah, okay. I think I know what's happening. All right. So it's in tune, right? It's this. I'm saying like it's just this, right? I went to hit knee, right? It's perfectly in tune. That I went. Oh man. Boy, oh boy.
That is one of the best demonstrations yet of why big frets are a problem for some people.
Right.
Because what you heard Dan just do there is the pressure of his fingers on the strings were pushing the string and bending it beyond the fret.
Yep.
Whereas that was the normal amount of pressure you would apply.
Absolutely normal.
So now you've come to this guitar and you're applying the normal amount of pressure and you're bending it way out of tune.
Mm-hmm.
So what you've got to try and do is play lightly.
Okay. I shall try. Oh boy, it's really hard. Oh, wow. That's going to take a bit of getting used to.
There's nothing wrong with the tone.
Nothing wrong with the tone. Tone sounds great.
Tone is pretty good.
Okay.
So it's really hard work, right?
It's mentally hard work
Yeah.
trying to relax this.
Do you know what I reckon, though?
What?
Now, as shall remain unnamed pickup maker has told me that there are players that he deals with who use heavy strings.
Yes.
And every time he gets them to their workshop, plays his guitars, he says they sound better.
Okay.
Because they loosen up, they don't hit the guitar so hard, they
Okay.
don't dig in with every note, and it just becomes more fluid and musical, is what he says.
Okay. Let's
try this then.
Yeah. Let me get my head around that for a minute.
Sorry, I need a bit of help. The way we've got the amps today, there's not much treble in either of them.
Okay.
Not a huge amount. It just seems like it needs a buffer just for me to be able to hear
Just to get some
a bit
love.
of
Yeah,
niceness
sure.
up top there. So I've gone from 10.5 to 50
Right.
to 9 to 42. So
Right.
the jump that I've made is much smaller
Sure.
than the jump that you've made.
Right.
And I've got to say, the slinkiness of it,
That's the thing, isn't it? The slinkiness.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
On the Strat, I quite like it. Let me just pile on some more gain a minute. Deliberately trying to hit hard.
Yeah.
And there's something about the tone I actually prefer.
It's really interesting.
Spanky.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
hit this hard and see what happens. It's really hard to give this love and keep this quite delicate.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm noticing as I hit it goes, whoa, and then it comes back into tune. Yeah, hit tune.
Let's just check.
Okay.
Let's just check that it actually is in tune.
Yeah.
So the B string was the only one that was a tiny bit sharp.
Right.
All the others were flat, and yet the tuning problem was sharp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. really changes the front end of the note.
Yeah, so you can't do that.
No.
You can't hit it hard.
No.
Try some of your jazzy noodly stuff.
It would take a bit of getting used to, because I'm just pressing too hard. But yeah, it sounds great. It sounds really, really nice.
And you've gone all the way to 8s from 11s, which is colossal difference.
Yeah.
I think that's why I wasn't struggling so much, because 10.5 to 9 is, it's
Still, it's
a
the thing.
big change, but it's not that huge amount. Right, number 6. Lots of people have asked for this. Dan and I have done lots and lots of videos on wet dry, which is, depending on what definition you take, the way we talk about it is overdrives hit both amps. Wet effects would be stuff like chorus, reverb, and delay. Phaser only hits one amp. So the question is, number 6, and this came from Phil Saunter, what about wet dry through a single stereo cab? So at the moment, we've got 2 amps and 2 cabs, and each one is going into its own cab, obviously. What you'll hear first is wet dry with
both cabs.
All of that.
Yep.
Then what we'll do is we will unplug the Morgan cab and we will send the Morgan head into the Hughes and Kettner cab along with the Marshall, because it has the facility to be able to split left and right stereo.
Nice.
We'll put another mic on it and you'll hear one cab wet dry.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we've got delay, reverb, and dimension C going into our wet amp. Everything else goes to the dry amp.
Currently, the wet amp is the Marshall and the dry amp is the Morgan. So give us, let's see how that sounds, Dan.
Okay, so BB Pre is going into both.
Yeah.
It's just magnificent. Dimension C. My beach ball has now expanded into thousands of tiny little beach balls within the beach ball.
Like that?
As I'm rolling around and they're all popping around my head. Mega!
Tell you what, it was good to the two cabs.
Yeah.
Really great, but
Yeah.
it was by no means considerably worse through the one cab.
No. That cab
Yeah.
is one of the best 2x12s I've ever heard.
It's got two greenbacks in it.
Yep.
Communal Garden medium magnet greenbacks.
It's been pushed by that pure tone for long enough that they've sort of gotten to a
Yeah.
point. But gee, that sounds fantastic.
So what you heard there was I just turned the wet and the dry amps on and off. So it'd be pretty obvious. Simon might add some captions on screen. But so what does it sound like running wet dry through one stereo cab?
Epic.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Great.
Cool. Right, number 7. Can you please just use a room mic so we can hear the difference in volume of your amps?
This would be really interesting.
Peter Graham, hi Peter, among very many others, one of the really confusing things about the way we record that show, and indeed the way any electric guitar is recorded anywhere, these microphones, this microphone here above my head, which Simon has just panned up to, is gained massively. Mm-hmm. It's really loads of gain on
like
that.
your pecs.
So, to make our voices, and Dan's got one above his head too, to make our voices sound
Mine's not
loud,
gained so massively.
right? Because as you can see, the ambient. Just talk a sec, Dan.
Yeah, so Mick is pointing, showing off his lovely That Pedal Show t-shirt. Resplendent in his TPS garment.
So as you can see, Dan is peaking there when he speaks somewhere around 62 dB. If you wouldn't mind just swanging your electric guitar. Oh, I'm going to have to redo the amps, aren't I? Just stay exactly where you are. Yeah. So Dan, if you give a swang on the guitar.
Oh, now?
If you want to hit up Wikipedia and understand the logarithmic scale of the decibel scale, you'll know that it's logarithmic. And we just hit 100 decibels measured from the same place as Dan's voice. So that was many, 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 many times louder.
Many.
Than the voices, right? So what that means is the microphones that are on the cabinets are gained much, much, much lower. So if Dan spoke into it, you'd barely hear it. So we're going to put one microphone here in front of the camera so you can see it. And we're going to record everything through that microphone at a level that does not distort.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so in the middle of the room there, you'll see in front of the camera is a Neumann TLM 102. It's a cardioid capacitor microphone that we used for a year or so as one of our main mics on the amps, and there's just a great all-rounder. You can use it for pretty much anything. I use it for VO stuff. It's a great vocal mic. It's great on cymbals as overheads. It's just a brilliant all-round microphone. It is approximately 10 feet away from the amps.
1.5 Ms.
Yeah, and it is approximately, actually it might, yeah,
Bit more than that, I
about
think.
10 feet,
Yeah,
11 feet
11
maybe.
feet.
And it is about 6 feet away from me and Dan. 5 feet, 6 feet, something like that, just to give you an idea. You are currently hearing my voice and Daniel's voice
Hello, I'm Daniel.
through our mics that are here.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you're going to hear the normal amplifier sound through a combination of the mics on the cabs and our room mics at the back. And part the way through that playing, it's going to switch to that mic there.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Righteous.
Deliberately whatever. Anyway, so you heard the difference in the mic. Well, you heard the difference. Now what we're going to do is the next bit of speaking that you hear will be my voice through that mic only, not through these ones.
Okay.
We haven't changed the gain on that one at all. So this is me speaking through the Sennheiser MKH416 shotgun microphone. And this is me speaking through the Neumann TLM 102 gain to the same level as what you just heard the amps.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to guess that it's pretty quiet, borderline inaudible.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any
signal at all, Simon?
We're peaking at about -50.
Peaking at about -50, so my lips are probably moving and you probably can't hear anything. And just to prove it, I'm just going to play the guitar. What I hope that experiment proves, we're now talking through these mics again, the overhead voice mics, is that microphone gained at the same level can't hear my voice, but it can hear the guitar amps.
Yes.
Dan, I want you to play for a bit.
Okay.
What we're now going to do is we're going to go from this level down to where we were in the Loud Quiet show,
Okay.
which is going to be about 65 dB.
Okay, cool.
And then you're first going to hear Dan playing through the on-cab microphones. It's then going to very obviously switch to the TLM 102. Caption will be on screen, and then I'm going to turn it down without changing the gain of that mic at all. So back to the original question. Please, can you just have one mic in the middle of the room so that we can actually hear what's going on? Yes, you can, and this is it.
Okay. Do you want to just turn the master volume of the BB booster down?
playing, Dan. Keep playing. I'm going to shout. I'm going to shout at the top of my voice. Here I am shouting. How much are we registering, Simon? About minus 40? Keep going.
Man, it's hard to play quiet.
I hope that explains why we don't just have one mic in the middle of the room and let you hear what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because
Totally.
not only, if you were in the room and your ears and your brain were here making sense of it, it would make perfect sense. When you hear it through headphones, and that's all you're hearing, the microphone, the interface, the recording equipment, your brain is not in the way doing the processing, doing the companding, compression, gain makeup that your brain does so brilliantly well. It's just not doing that because you don't have all the
Visual cues.
Yeah, visual and other sensory.
Yeah.
So your body's not in the way. And the recording is just not as smart as your brain. So that's why we intervene. And that's why we try and make things the same level so that in your ears they sound the same and you can hear the tonal differences as well as some of the volume differences, but we do have to even it out a bit.
Perfect.
Yeah? Number 8, please, please, please compare the TC Third Dimension with the Boss Dimension C Waza.
Groovy.
I started using the Dimension C Waza when it came out, which was a couple of years ago now. And a lot of people said, well, hang on a minute, TC do a pedal that's just a bit like that. Please, can you compare them? I said, yeah, I'll do a vlog. Never did, so let's do it now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Now then, I'm guessing you've got 4 buttons and 4 buttons.
Yes.
So I think we can make an assumption there, can't we?
We can. You've got... On the Dimension C, yes, you can press 2 things on together. It's a lot easier to do it on the Third Dimension. They sort of push in and out things. Yeah.
Let's hear it then.
Okay.
Dimension Z sounds miles better.
It really does.
Cool, let's move on. Number 9, why don't you have a Morgan amp in today's show, says Jelly Kramer Songs.
Job done.
Hella Kramer Songs. And We said because it hasn't arrived yet, and then for ages we've had the Morgan in shot and we haven't really used it. So why don't you have a Morgan on the show? Well, we do. We've got the Dual 20. Let's hear it. I'll turn the Marshall off. Morgan Dual 20. It is a 4 EL84 amp that has an EF86 or an 12AX7 preamp section for one of the channels. Might be both the channels, but it's definitely one of them. It has a top boost kind of channel and it has a normal channel, and then it has a couple of things on board, and it has an attenuator built in, so you can get lovely gainy tones at lower volumes.
Okay.
Dan,
Yes.
Schwangy. So
Yeah.
I'm just checking with him.
Okay.
Recording. Right, I'm going to try some humbuckers. I'm going to stand up because I can then muck about with the amp.
Okay, cool.
Thing 10, why don't you just get rid of all the pedals and crank the amps? Yeah, that was loud.
Boy, oh boy.
Tell it was interesting. So we went, the Morgan throughout the show has been at sort of a nice sort of breaky uppy kind of place. And you heard that a little bit in the last bit where we went through some of the features there. The Morgan was flat out.
Yep.
Absolutely flat out. I'm just going to check on the back. There's no other power issue. Nope. So the Morgan was absolutely flat out. Both all on 10. Right across the board.
10 across the board.
10.
And where do you go from there?
Actually, it wasn't. The EQ wasn't up to 10, but anyway. And the Marshall I just turned up to about there, I guess, which in that amp is... There's not really any more after that.
No.
So that was overdriving like crazy as well. We still only hit 104
That's incredible.
because everything was compressing like crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is great to crank up an amp every now and again.
Yes. Quickens the blood.
That's us then, I think, Dan. That was 10 things.
10 things. That was
Yeah.
great. We should
There
do
they
that
are.
again because there's a load more. And that was so interesting because the stuff that we normally wouldn't have done.
Really inspiring. Some
Yeah.
really inspiring sounds today, and a good, meander through the forests of discovery.
Yes. Brilliant. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Also, massive thank you to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe
Anderton's Music
and in the UK. No, even in Australia.
would be Empire of Pedals
Empire of Pedals, that's the one.
in
The
Brisbane.
great Australian Empire of Pedals. Also, a massive thank you to everyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and grabbed t-shirts and mugs and D&M drives and hats and hoodies and all the accoutrements.
Yes, please buy that stuff. It keeps us in business.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have links.
We do. Click the thing down. If you see links to Sweetwater in the US and you want to buy something, use that link and it helps us earn a bit of cash. And I guess finally we should say thank you to our patrons on Patreon.
Yes,
thank you very
guys,
much.
Thank you so much.
Big deal.
Brilliant. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to the exits. Dan and Mick have left the building. I repeat, Dan and Mick have left the building.